I'm excited to share with you the secret sauce behind my trading strategy, remarkable success. What you're about to witness is the 95% win rate entry model that I personally rely on for all my trades. Without the precious entry model, my strategy wouldn't have achieved the impressive win rate it boasts today. I'm excited to share with you the secret sauce behind my trading strategy, remarkable success. What you're about to witness is the 95% accurate win rate entry model that I personally rely on for all my trades. Without this precious entry model, my strategy wouldn't have achieved the impressive win rate it boasts today. In this video, I'll be walking you through the 95% accurate entry trading model that has revolutionized my trading approach. You're likely familiar with the ICT unicorn entry model, right? If you're likely familiar with the ICT entry model, well then this entry model would work for you, but I'll be representing it with a unique twist that sets it apart from that. Let's dive right in and dissect every aspect of this powerful entry model. I'll be dropping the key insights in the chat, so be sure to follow along and we break down the intricacies of this game-changing trading tool. Alright guys, here we are on our charts for an example. So guys, this is gonna be a bullish example, and I want to first take you to like a candle closure. I want to break for you down the importance of candles, candle wicks, and candle closures, and what you should know about them, right? So this is going to be a bullish example, for instance, and you can see that price here is forming a new higher high right here. It came and formed a higher low right here. Then from there, it started buying to take out this higher high to form a promising higher high, right? So I want to take you through the importance of body candle closures and the wicks, like what you should take notice of. So guys, as we can see right here, this was our swing high, but as we're saying that price is trying to form a new promising swing high, and what do we call that? That's a high, right? But if this candle fails to close all its body above this higher high, this swing high, this is a wick and it leaves this wick. Well, as we all know that all wicks that form on candles on every price action, they show that that was an attempt for price to go all the way to that side, right? So if we take notice of this wick, what does it show to us? That price had an attempt to go all the way here, and it stopped around that level, and then it started rejecting to the downside, right? So this is not a full body candle closure. And what does it signify? So as we all know that every candle, for instance a bullish candle, so a bullish candle has an open at the bottom, and it forms a low, right? As you can see this week. So this shows an attempt that this candle first printed bearish, then it printed bullish to the upside up to all the way this side, then it rejected and closed all the way here, right? So we have an open, a high, a close, and a low, right? So what do we call this form of price action? Guys, after seeing all this wick forming and a failure of this body candle closure to this above this swing high, this form of price action is called a rejection form of price action. Why? Because we're seeing this price action had an attempt of closing above here, but it failed, signifying a rejection of bullishness, right? So for instance, when we find this form of price action, we shift gears, right? We shift gears, right? So from here, we could look for possible sales from this rejection form of price action. And this is the reason as to why we always say that we need patience in trading, right? Because if you find yourself buying in this type of like price action, and you find yourself triggering your buys inside here, let's say above here, without a confirmation of this candle, like without this candle closing, like it's still playing, like this candle is still printing, then you place in your buys, right? Then you close your you close in your buys inside this form of price action. Then you find this candle rejecting all the way to this downside. And what does this candle signifies? Possible sales, right? Because here indicates a sweep on liquidity that was been raided, and now we should look for possible sales, right? For instance, you have taken your buys before this candle, before the closure of this candle, and you are being stopped out. Let me put this. Let's say you placed your buys from that position while this candle was still around here, right? While this candle was still around here, then you take your buys and boom, you stopped out. You stopped out. So after that, price has already shown a rejection conference, right? A rejection type of price action, as I told you earlier. Then let's say you have to look for downside movement. Okay, guys. Now, what about when we let's say you wait for, maybe you have been stopped out here, and then we get this two candle formation price action. For instance, this is a hourly time frame or daily or 4H. I'll write it here. So for instance, this is your time frame, 1H time frame, and you may be impatient and you took your buys here and you got stopped out. So you were like, okay, maybe let me see what price has to offer. Then it came right here, took out this swing low, and when it takes out this string low, guys, look closely. When it takes out this string low and you have a full body candle closure to the downside, then what are we looking at? We're going to be looking for possible sell entries going all the way to the downside, right? Going all the way to the downside, looking for downside liquidities, right? So what if you don't have this body candle closure again, yet remember you have this already, then you also don't get it right here, right? What if you don't have it again on this swing low, and then you have the rejection form of price action as you had it on the first attempt? What do you do, guys? So right here, we're going to wait for a full body candle closure. And guys, remember, the reason as why I'm using all my time to draw for you these candles and not using maybe this path pattern like this something is I want you to know, like, what is a candle closure and why does it matter in the determination of any entry or considering any entry on every setup, right? So guys, all right, here we were. So we having a rejection of this candle, showing that maybe I also want to go back up, right? So then we are going to shift this swing high right here, right? And we're going to wait for a full body candle closure, right here, as you can see. So we're going to wait for, in order to look for good a good entry, a good buy entry, we have to wait for full body candle closure with momentum. We are looking for two things: momentum and speed. Full body candle closure above here in order for us to take a good buy entry, right? And we shall wait for something like this. All right, guys, you will have to wait for something like this to happen. and I'm going to break it for you down bit by bit, right? As we are seeing here, we had a rejection. Our first rejection appeared at around this level, right? Then we had our second rejection at around this level, and we had momentum running all the way to the upside after hitting. And before this leg happening, ICT does call this form of price action a seek and destroy market condition, right? This is where you find price taking out swing highs and swing lows at the same time, or you can call it a consolidation or a ranging market, right? So now we're seeing, let's say, as I told you earlier, that this, let's take this as our hourly time frame, right? So now you have seen here, let's say you've made your setup and it's on the exact PD array you marked out, and you're waiting for an entry confirmation. And then you have this leg forming, taking out the recent string high, right? This is a recent string high. Then we have this down close candle, right? This down close candle, or I will use this arrow, right? You have this down close candle forming, and then you have this good momentum running this high, right? And what do we call, if we have this, the open of this down close candle being run with this speed, what do we call this, guys? We call it a change in a state of delivery, right? A change in a state of delivery. And we also call this, right, guys, this high right here is called an intermediate term high, right? Intermediate term high. Why is it an intermediate term high? And it's a crucial high because it took out our recent high that we had here, our recent swing high that we had here, right? It took our recent high that we had here, and it formed for a particular high to turn from a short-term high or a short-term low to an intermediate term high or an intermediate term low. It's when it first strips out a certain short-term high. For instance, we have it here, and if it or if that particular high retraces back into an imbalance, right? Those are the only condition a certain high can turn into an intermediate term high, right? So we have it there, and that turns into a market structure shift, right? And we also have a change in state of delivery right there, right? So how many confluences are those? We also have a full body candle closure, right? We also have imbalances. We also have speed, right? So guys, I'm going to take you into a live chart examples, and we have a look at it. So after you having or experiencing this, your only thing to do is wait for a retracement, maybe on this change or in state of delivery or an imbalance or breaker. By the way, I had forgotten to show you guys the breaker we have right here, right? These three up close candles right here we're having in this leg, right? These three up close candles we're having in this leg that got this turned into our breaker, right? They were ran through, or how should I phrase it, were they raided, something like that. So we have several confluences within the zone, right? So take it as an example, like if this happened to your chart and it's in your PD array, what do you have? You have a straight unicorn entry model, right? Straight unicorn entry model, because you're waiting for only a retracement on that breaker or an imbalance for you to take your straight buys. So guys, let's go to live chart examples and see how effective this entry is. So guys, actually when I was recording this backtest example, I have just realized that I wasn't recording the voice. Like the screen record has no voice, so I'm just going to do a voice cover on this video. I don't know if it will match, but it is what it is. So this is a Nasdaq example on the 1H time frame. As you can see right there below, we don't have a candle closure, right? It's a liquidity strip, and there I was marking it out for you guys. And we are, when we look closely, we can observe down below that we had an order block, right? And that was a valid order block since it had momentum candles, right? It had momentum candles that were running to the upside, which had imbalances, right? So here we drop to the 15 minutes time frame, as you can see in the video. And here I was waiting for more context, for looking for our entry model, right? I was looking for our entry model, and I played for price and waited. As you can see right there, we still never got a candle closure, meaning price wanted to go to the upside. It still wanted to go to the upside. So I wanted price to run through that high with momentum and a body candle closure, right? So I was waiting, but instead price gave me a down candle close, right? A down candle body closure. And since we are just looking for money in the markets, or we're looking for a quality setup, so I immediately dropped to the 5 minutes time frame, marked out that order block just to take a quick sell. Since price showed me that it wants to go bearish, all right, there, though we almost missed this setup, but since it's just a back test, it was just an example, right? So I went for a 1 2 3, and let's see if price gonna give us what we want, right? You can see right there. Yeah, so guys, that's it. I've tried my level best to show you how this entry model works, and hopefully you have gained something. So feel free to click that subscription button if you're new, and if you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Your boy God did effects. I sign out.